as a pastor among the immigrant groups or first generation, my ministry is such that we have the first generation people, correct? Those people that are born in India, Burma, wherever they are born, coming to the United States as parents, like young adults, I would say parents, more of them, 30 plus, let's say. And then we call 1.5th generation, those people that come young, 5 years, 10 years, maybe 15 years. And we also have another generation called second generation. Those people that are born and raised in America, we call them second generation. So now, that very diverse ministry. In terms of ministry, in terms of diversity, I have 3 generations. So they have different needs. I feel like when I compare this ministry to our ministry, they are more or less the same. We are all migrants. We are not domiciled. The only difference, a little bit of difference is that we can become citizens, buy houses, and do so many different kinds of things. But more or less the same. We are migrants, immigrants. Here you might be migrants, not immigrants, but we are there in America, immigrants, right? First generation immigrants. Of course, we have then all the necessary steps and get our citizenship taken care of. I become citizen in 2017, and my people become citizens and all of this, so on and so forth, right? But then the ministry is pretty much very heavily among immigrant group like us, migrants, coming from the comfort of our home and learning new culture, right? Existing, assimilating in a new culture, having a lot of barriers to entry, such as language barrier, like we have here. I don't know if all of us speak, I don't know if it is Hindi or if it is Tamil or whatever it is spoken here, right? Telugu, whatever. That is not our mother tongue. Likewise, even in my ministry, Zo or whatever, this tribal dialect is our mother tongue. We are born into that mother tongue and we speak very fluently. And sometimes we find very hard to communicate with others in English when we arrive there. So my job is to translate, to take people to those places, shepherding demands. It is very demanding job there. And also when we have our worship service, we worship in Zo and also sometimes preach in English because we care about the second generation, right? We care about the second generation. Because the second generation don't speak Zo anymore. They're in the 1.5th generation, those people that come to the United States as young adults or young children, they speak both. They're bilingual. They speak Zo at home, English at the church, or at the, say, at the school, right? At the other places, outside of the house, they speak English. So sometimes there's also a feeling that they have, which is called too Asian at the college, at the school, too American at home. So we have to struggle with that. And sometimes that a hyphenated identity, when I say a hyphenated identity, Zo American, right? Asian American, Indian American, Mexican American, Latino American, whatever, right? That hyphenated people. The first is our name, hyphen American. That is why we also have Zo American Presbyterian Church. We are hyphenated identity. We have this hyphenated identity. So what that translates to us is those young people feel so Asian. They are stereotyped. They are being stereotyped at the school, at the university, at the school, wherever they are. But when they come home, they feel like, oh, the parents shouted at them sometimes. They have this inferiority complexion at home. And when they go to the church, when they go to college or social places, they say, oh, too Asian. And they are not like us. They are not one of us. So they feel discriminated. They feel outside of the community sometimes. So those people feel very lonely, very uh, excluded in the society. So those are the people that we take care of. It's not easy. And the third people that we take care of is the second generation. People born in the United States. So their food habit. My son said one time, why do we have to eat rice every day? He shot and cried one day. Not shouting and crying, but he was complaining. A good complaint, right? Because in the morning they wake up, they get ready for school, they go to school, they take breakfast at the school, Americanized, American food. And then they have their lunch at around 12 or 1, 12 and 1. They have their American pizza, burger, whatever, right? And then when they come home full, they don't want to eat anymore. So that is the food habit now. Monday to Friday. And Saturday, Sunday, when I say, let's eat. My son complained one day and he said, why do we have to eat rice every day? What? Are you not tired of rice every day? Oh, come on, I'm not tired of rice every day. I've been eating this for more than 40 years, almost 50 years, and I don't get tired. It was really funny sometimes. But then what I'm saying now here is, I am dealing with this kind of people like migrants, immigrants, first gen, 1.5, second gen. Now, the problem still exists. The problem that are already here. And now, spiritually, when we talk about the spiritual side, my kids, especially the second generation, they don't understand Zoe anymore. They don't understand any power anymore, right? So what it is we have debates in our church, like the leadership team. Some people say, you guys want to use English only? How would you maintain, preserve, process our culture, our language? Even though we are a foreign land, we need to preserve our culture, we need to maintain our tradition, whatever, right? So there was a very big confusion. And I say, okay, are we talking about our language coming before the gospel? Or do we want the gospel to come first and our culture second? Do you want the kids, our kids, second gen especially, do you want the second generation children to hear the gospel with their native language, which is not Zoe anymore? Their native language is now English. Or do you want us to preach, to teach the gospel in Zoe, and they will not understand even, let's say, this is just an estimate, 20%, less than 20% of understanding? Do you want the gospel to be preached in the language they can understand? Or do you want the gospel to be preached in our language that they don't understand? So there is a good debate. So we finally decided, well, it'll be good for them, and we'll be doing it if we do it in English. So we finally decided that our kids should go with the American kids so they can hear the gospel in their heart language, so to speak. Not mother tongue anymore, heart language. The language that is closest to their heart, right? The language that they can understand, the language that they can really catch. That is what we have decided. So now our kids go to English Sunday schools. Sometimes it is hard decision. I feel like this is still there. Immigrants are still there. We have a lot of problem with Trump's presidency. We also have a lot of deportation now. And I also learned that there is a huge military plane that is deporting so many Indians. I'm sorry about that. I'm really sorry to hear that. But even then, that is happening even as we speak. So all this problem, all this turbulent world, we have this turbulent world. My topic that I want to preach today, oh, very good. Being a prophetic voice in a turbulent world, the world is full of problems. Full of problems. The world is full of, even our small Manipur, whatever we call it, is full of problems, and which is why some of us are here as internally displaced people. Correct? And some of us here come just because of the war, just because of the battle, just because of the ethnic cleansing that is going on in a place we call home. We are living out of our comfort zone. We are living out of our domicile. And we are here as a temporary people. Migrants. Migrants, and its own definition is that they are not living here. They don't have any domicile here. So they are living here for how long we don't know, but we are migrants. Still happening. Problem still there. Problem is not solved. 2,000 years later, problems still exist. So what do we do about it? And the pastor will also know that he is serving, he is shepherding, he is taking you to this place that those people that have no hope will have hope. Those people who have no real home will have a place that they call home, spiritual home. And a place that is intentionally dedicated to worship God, which is this place right here. And when we all come together, we strengthen the bond. We strengthen the fellowship. We strengthen our brotherhood, sisterhood, whatever you call, right? We're here. So this ministry is still here, even after 2,000 years. So we are living in this turbulent world. So we want to be the voice of God in this turbulent world. We don't want to be the voice of Satan in this turbulent world. You find people, talk to them, encourage them, give them hope, preach. Preach, brother. Preach, sister. That's what I'm saying. Not just the pastor. Give hope. Visit your friends and families here. Give hope. We are living in a very turbulent world. Let's make peace. This is what Jesus intends us to do. And let's not create misunderstanding. We are brothers and sisters. And now the saddest part of the story is that there is fight in our native place, which is very, very discouraging to me. Very, very discouraging as Christians. Very, very discouraging as people of God. So, this evening, brothers and sisters, we have to have that voice, that prophetic voice of hope, that there are hope after these turbulent times. And in these turbulent times, we want to be the messenger of hope, the harbinger of hope, the voice of God for the people living in fear, for the people living without hope, for the people living in fear and hopeless and anxiety and everything, let's say. What are you here to bring? We are bringing that peace of, that voice of shalom, that voice of God, peace, shalom, right? We are here to encourage each other. Jesus said this way to us today. I'm here to feed the hungry, to bring good news to the poor. Not to self-promote, but to bring goodness to the poor. So when we say poor, we only think about this material poverty, right? There are spiritually poor people. There are people that doesn't have their daily bread, their daily spiritual bread. They want to hear good news from you, from me. The goodness. What's their hope? When they're so hungry, when they don't have enough bread to sustain their day, to sustain their body. This is what Jesus is saying, I think. And to proclaim freedom to the prisoners. We have prisoners. When I say prisoners, we are not talking about the jail, the prison over there, where people stay and locked it or whatever. But we have this mental prisoner, spiritual prisoner that we need to release. We need to talk to them. That their gates are being closed by Satan. That we need to open and then let them free with the good